The name of the show today, The Foundation. Start the new year with trust. I mean, are you surprised? Surprised. So L is talking about trust again. Talking about the reasons and all of the points and articulations that he can come up as to why you and your family should restructure your private estate or structure your private estate in trust. So, I know you're watching the news. Was the election stolen? Was it not stolen? Who knows? Really? I don't know. Yusuf is talking about that. Let Yusuf handle that. I think he's more qualified anyways. More than me anyways. But as far as what's going on and unemployment and being laid off and all these jobs, being reduced and being furloughed and you gotta go home and we'll call you later if, this and if that and, the lockdowns and then they're letting you open, but then they're locking down again. For me, it's the writings on the wall. I think, honestly, by the end of this month, y'all really gonna see what's really popping. Month or so, next 2 months or so, it's gonna get serious. And I feel like there's gonna be an influx of people trying to, contact, me, get into trustee training, get service, so on and so forth, because, unless it's in front of your face, we don't really react. And I've been doing this for over 5 years. I can say this now. I can say it. It's 2021. Over 5 years, I've been doing episodes on High Frequency Radio Network. Over 5 years. And to me, it's been in front of my face this whole time and then, even still possibly a little longer. But honestly, and for me, most importantly, all this stuff is going on. Whether it's political, whether it's economic, whether it's fiscal, regardless. All this stuff is going on. But what are we not paying attention to? What is not being paid attention to? And as far as I'm concerned, it's your business and your family and what you're doing and your income. And no, we're not sitting down and talking about, hey, man, I got to go to the job. And, something can happen at the job and then they can just lay me off. And then, it's going to start a cascading effect of I can't pay the mortgage. I can't pay the rent. I can't pay the car. I can't pay the credit cards. I can't get food. We're going to have to make decisions. Do I pay for the electricity or do I buy food? Do I pay the rent or do I pay the electricity? These types of situations happen regardless. For most of us, happen regardless for most of our parents. And the reason why this stuff happens is because we don't fundamentally understand that we are working for another family's business. That's where you get up and go to work and you punch in or whatever you got to do that keeps track of your time. You are working for another family's business, or you're working for a company that is owned by multiple families or multiple investment companies that then those investment companies are owned by a family. I mean, when you get all behind all of these owners and shell companies and trusts and whatnot, your bottom line, you're talking about a wealthy family. Hands down. You can argue with me all day and say, so you're wrong. No, the money's going to the Jews or it's going to the bankers or it's going, I don't care who you think it's going to, some sort of group that you want to focus your attention on and say that's where all the money's going to. It doesn't matter because once you get behind that, it's all about family. It's all about family. And it's 2021, which means you didn't get properly structured in 2008, 2009. You didn't set up your private trust estate with the contract entities, set up the trust accounts at the bank so you can properly, do business lawfully and legally through this private entity that is not controlled by the state, man. You didn't do it in 2008, 2009. You didn't do it in 2010. You didn't do it in 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, it started getting really weird. 2018, 2019, right? Then we all know 2020, it went down. And in 2020, some of us got laid off. These things happen. I understand. But there's always going to be a reason. You're always going to have a reason. There's always going to be something that comes up to why you feel or you say that, I'm not going to do it. There's always going to there will never be the perfect conditions that you have in your head to do a certain thing. And that's the thing. The problem with most of us is that we never start. And then those of us who start, we don't continue. And then there's those of us who start and continue who don't finish. And, oh, man, I'll do it next week. Oh, man, I got to pay for this. Oh, man, my mom fell down the stairs. Oh, man, I got a flat tire. Oh, man, I got this, the water heater burst. Oh, man, I got to pay for my son's school thing. Oh, there's always going to be something coming up. Always. Here's what I'm telling you. It's 2021. It's the first month of the Gregorian commercial New Year, 2021. Why not now? It's time to start your new year with trust. To get all of the excuses out of it, they're about to pull in the Fed coin. We got Democrats. We got taxes going up. I mean, look, here it comes. And I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm telling you, that is commerce. And whoever runs that presidency dictates commercial policies for that time period. And the commercial policies that are going to come in are not going to be dope, especially not for employees. Let's just be honest. If you're not working on your own business, your family business, something that, even if it's a side business, even if you invest 1 hour, 2 hours a week on a Saturday, you go to work all week, right? On a Saturday, you do 2 hours. Do a timer. Ding. Where do you start? You start with understanding what you want to do. What are you going to do? Are you going to sell some stuff on Amazon? Okay, you are. Okay, so how do I sell on Amazon? So I got to make an account. How do I make an Amazon seller's account? You do 2 hours every Saturday. And if you do that consistently, man, in a couple months, you're going to be good. You're going to be making moves. But most of us don't even start. Most of us don't even do that first Saturday. Oh, I'm tired. I worked all week. And all these reasons to why we should just be lazy because we work for someone else's company all week. We work for someone else's family all week. We say, oh, I work for my family. No. You exchanged your labor in that transaction to grab or to get into your possession certain things to provide for your family. But when you're at that job working, you are working for someone else's family. And people don't understand the distinction. People don't understand the breakdown of the wealth, how wealth moves, how it works, how it aggregates, how it grows, how it is lost. Just every Saturday, do 2 hours from noon to 2. Eat lunch, go in there. Go in your room, go in the living room, go somewhere quiet, go somewhere it doesn't matter. It could be 2 hours of research. It could be 2 hours of notes. Eventually you get into a point where you got a business. Now you got a business, whatever it's making. It can be making $2 a month. It doesn't matter. That's extra. There's tax benefits. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. All topics are for informational and educational purposes only and not to be considered or construed as legal advice when you're talking about the foundation or so. But there are tax advantages with regards to running a business, having a business. Tax advantages to an individual filing an individual return if that individual operates a business, if that individual has invested into a business. There's deductions, extra deductions that an individual can take to offset certain tax liabilities. I'm talking before even trust. This is before even dealing with a trust. Which means, let's say you working at your job and you make 80 G's, but if you can expense 20 off of your business, that means you only have 60,000 that's taxable. You need to talk to an attorney. You got to talk to a CPA. But this is how it works, man. Don't believe me. I could be lying, though. 2 hours, 2 hours. What is that, man? Look. It's 8 hours a month. That's not even part-time. So with not even part-time hours, in a couple of months, you will have a functioning, running business. Now, will it be making profits? Probably not. But it'll be running and functioning. Making profits is next. Focusing what you're doing is next. You're going to make some mistakes. Like, let's go with the example. If you're trying to make an Amazon sellers page, you're going to sell a couple items that aren't going to. You're going to try to list a couple items that aren't going to sell, and the other items are going to sell. You're going to have to learn some stuff. You're going to get some experience. But if you do 2 hours a week on a Saturday, 2 hours a week, just this year, starting this Saturday, starting in 3 days, if you do 2 hours a week every Saturday and work on your business, your family business, I can almost guarantee you by this time next year, you'll have business credit, you'll likely have profits, and depending on what you're doing and how you did it, you might be coming close to asking yourself, why do I still work this job? I can quit this job, I'll take a little haircut. A lot of times people quit their job and they take a haircut, meaning, if you made $60,000 a year and you quit your job, the business you built is only making like $40,000. You're only making $40,000 a year instead of $60,000. So you reduced what you were making. So it seems like you're making less, but this is your business. This is your family business, and you can just grow it from there. And you'll increase your income faster with your own business or a family business or a partnership that you set up with you and a friend or someone else. You'll increase your income faster than you would otherwise, having worked a job waiting for them to give you 2%, 3% raise every single year, if that. That's if you don't get laid off or furloughed, or whatever between now and then. There's no equity in having a job. There really isn't. You can't pass it to anyone. You can't pass it to your child. You can't guarantee that you stay there. Y'all can never fire me. This is a lifetime position. Nope. There's very few jobs that are lifetime positions. So you doing 2 hours every Saturday for 1 year, for this whole entire year of 2021. Work on your business. Work on your family business. Whether it's an LLC, it's a partnership, or S corp, whatever, man. Do your own research and figure it out. Work on building your business credit. You got a personal phone. Go get a business account and port your number. You can take your personal number and put it into the business account and have the same phone and everything. A lot of times you only just need to change the SIM card. And you can keep your phone. You ain't got to buy a new phone. They'll try to tell you that. You ain't got to do that. Just start the account, get the account, and tell them, hey, I'm going to port some numbers in from the, and they'll be like, okay, cool. Do you need a SIM card or blah, 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 temporary number? Whatever. You don't need a phone. You already got phones. And then cancel your personal account. Because every time a business pays its bill for a cell phone, it counts as positive credit history towards the business. It doesn't do that on the personal side, on the individual side. It only counts as negative credit history if you don't pay the bill. Do these simple things for this whole year and see where you're at. See where you are on January 6th, 2022. See how different your life is. See how different your finances are. And I haven't even said anything about setting up your private estate and getting your trust set up properly and properly administering your trust. And I'm not talking about administering your trust off of some fantasy dreamland, fuzzy type, sprinkles and glitter and just everything that you ever dream. Nah, man, I'm talking about for real. Proper administration so you are able to avail your private estate of the contract protections provided in the Constitution. I haven't even said anything about that. Look. How much needs to happen in the public for us to begin to understand that we can no longer depend on the public, and we need to stop teaching our heirs and our children and our nieces and nephews to depend on the public. I appreciate my elders. Hey, that was the world they lived in. They say go to school, get a good job, and you'll be all right. That was a different era. It was a different time. That is not appropriate for 2021. Going to school, get a good job. They're laying fools off left and right. Let there be anything. You run your own business, they can't shut you down. If you have a public facing business with a storefront, then that's a different story. But if you look, you run your own family business and it's private. I mean, it's a freedom part. To me, it's freedom. They talk about liberty. I don't want no liberty. Keep your liberty. Give me liberty to do. What am I at liberty to do? That's what it is. What am I at liberty to do? Dang all that. I'm talking about just all about the freedom. But we got to do things different. We have to do different things. Y'all don't see what's coming. Y'all don't see what's coming. Y'all think, oh man, Sot's on here. Look, man, y'all gotta understand. I did not come into this information because I was in prison. I did not come into this information because I had a foreclosure. I did not come into this information because I had child support. I did not come into this information because look, you gotta understand what I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all this because I see what's coming. And if we don't get properly structured, if we don't get properly set up, man, we're gonna get chewed up. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be over. You go to the World Economic Forum. It's like WEF.org. They got a thing where they're trying to introduce the New World Order. They got a video you can watch. You know what I'm saying? Where they got type on the screen and they got actors and stuff, and they got this guy smiling, and on the screen it says you will own nothing and you will be happy. This is the future that is coming very fast. Go check out the World Economic Forum. Go check out the International Monetary Fund. Go read a couple of their white papers on decashing society, taking the cash out of society, going negative interest rates and all this stuff. Check out what they're doing. The World Health Organization, these plans that have been implemented. I'm not tripping on who's going to be the president. I'm not tripping on who runs the Senate. I'm tripping on are my people properly structured to where no state can come and shut down your business because it's private. It's not legislative. It's contract. Get to the point where we understand that we live in an age of technology, the information age, technology. All these things that we can do with technology. What we're doing now is using technology for consumption of media. Consumption. Very few of us are using this technology for business. Very few of us are using this technology to get more money, for promotion, for brand awareness, to scale businesses, to do investigations to see what people want to buy, what people don't want to buy. Very few of us are doing this. Very few of us are looking at ourselves as merchants. When everything is for sale on this earth. Everything is for sale on this earth. So why aren't we selling something too? We buy them so much. The only thing we selling is our labor. Is that true? Because if that's true, that's not good. If the only thing that you're selling, technically you ain't selling it because you're not getting paid. You were never paid. You're going to be paid with substance because your labor is substance. A promise is not substance. A note is not substance. So if you exchange your labor for notes, What else are you exchanging for notes? What else are you selling for notes? Is it just the labor? Is it just your life? And we got to understand that we can do these things. These things are 100% within our grasp as far as the ability to set this up. But, start the new year with trust. Hit me up, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Say you want to get into trustee training. I'm going to respond to you. Respond back. A lot of people get the response, and you get the rundown about trustee training, and you go dark. You get little. You go midget. Closed mouth don't get fed. Closed mouth does not get fed. And here's the thing. I'm open to negotiation. Just, hey, we'll see what's up. I'm not going to get, how dare you try to negotiate, you fool. I mean, come on, man. What are we really doing with it? Worst thing you're going to hear is no. And if you're going to be doing business, you got to get used to hearing no and not getting upset and feeling a certain way about someone telling you no. Because being told no lets you realize, hey, well, that's good. No is good because now you know where to focus your time and energy. But closed mouth don't get fed. Start the new year with trust. You get your product. You get your state. Look, I don't know what's wrong with. I don't know what's wrong with the world. I don't know what's going on with y'all. But if y'all can't see what I'm talking about by now, I don't know what else to say. I really don't. Once again, real quick, my name is Sot L. I'm the host of the foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network. If you're looking for Yusuf L, he was on Blog Talk earlier. I think he's on currently on YouTube. You want to check out his live stream, look in the description, and he'll have a number for you to call in live if you want to, interact with Yusuf L. My name is Sot L. And, I don't want to waste your time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to think that I'm Yusuf L. A lot of people think I'm Yusuf L. I'm not Yusuf. I'm Sot. It's an honor to be confused with the brother though. Hey, thank you. But I'm talking about start the new year with trust. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about starting a new year, getting your private estate set up, your business trust, your asset trust, your family trust, and setting up your family business and working on it for a year, 1 year. January 6th, 2021 to January 6th, 2022, and see how much your life changes. All right, man, look, I'm not asking, but if there's any trustees on the line right now that want to affirm what I'm saying, hey, whatever, but this stuff changes your life 100%. And I know you don't want to hear, work for 12 months. Who want to work for 12 months? Don't nobody want for 12 months. You work for that job for how long, though? How long you work for that job? To me, that's the point. I pledge allegiance to my family on the private side of America. First and foremost. Not to some banner, not to the flag, not to the company, not to a government. And when you sit down and you really realize that, man, the bulk of my energy in life, because there's 24 hours in a day, you need 8 hours to sleep, and you got 8 hours where you're at work. And you got about 1 hour, maybe more, of the 8 hours that's free in your day, at least where you commuting on your way back and forth to work. So really you got like 6.5 hours of free time. You got to take showers, you got to eat, you got to make meals, sometimes you got to do laundry. You might have to pay bills. You might have to go grocery shopping. All these things you got to do in that little 6.5 hour window, 5 days a week. And then 2 days a week, or at least 1 day a week, most of us, we chill, kick it. And then the other day, we go to church. Which means you got about 6 hours, 5 days a week, by 8 hours, 1 day a week, for everything else that you got to do, not for yourself, not for your family business. I mean, if you think about it, how much time do you really have? And if you're going to work 40 hours a week, 32 hours a week, 25 hours a week, that's how much energy that you're devoting to this company, to the purpose, the business purpose of this company. Whether you licking envelopes or whatever, your labor has been divided. Labor has been divided so that you do these one things or these 2, 3 things at this company, and then they do this thing, and then everything on the whole entire scale is for the purpose of generating income for the shareholders or the owners of this company. That's a lot of hours out of your life to what, 55, 56, 58? What's the age of retirement? I don't know right now. That's a long time. You'll feel better. You will feel better. All you have to do is do 2 hours a week to your private estate, to your own business. 2 hours a week for 1 year. You just how much better you feel in your mind and in your heart about what you're doing and what you're focusing on and why you're focusing this way and who it's for. This is for my family. I work 40 hours a week for this company, and my family only gets notes and some food and stuff, and then it's gone. But there's nothing lasting that my family or me is receiving from putting all of my life, all of my time in at this job. If you've never said it, if you've never thought about it like that consciously, you know it subconsciously. You definitely do. So the difference in the way that you will feel, if you just take 2 hours on a Saturday every week for 1 year and work on your family trust structures, and your family business. 2 hours. Do it for a year and see how it changes your life. See how it changes the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about your family, and the way you feel about what you're doing with your time on this earth. Because the bottom line is that they hijacked our life through Federal Reserve notes. That's what they did. And it's very insidious, but it's very evil genius. And we have to understand the most valuable thing on the planet is human labor. It's not gold. It's not silver. It's not land. It's not platinum. It's not rhodium. It's not classic cars. It's not diamonds. It's not pearls. It's not Monet's or Picasso paintings. The most valuable thing the most valuable single commodity on the earth is human labor. All prices being constant for other commodities, watermelon, corn, a yard of dirt, it doesn't matter. No matter what you're talking about, the only fluctuation that you're going to see in the market with regards to prices of goods, listen to what I'm saying. The only fluctuation you're going to see in the market regarding prices of goods is the price of the labor. That's why Chinese products are so cheap. The reason why they're so cheap is because they barely pay the workers. The workers are using their labor, their life, to produce these products. And if the company is only paying the laborers a certain amount, that means they can bring this product to market and make more off of the products. Who's really paying for it? The laborers. This is a concept that really escapes a lot of people. And the reason why it escapes a lot of people is because you are taught the opposite of this concept, that everything else is valuable, but your labor is not that valuable. Who fill out this application? Let's do 18 interviews. Let me ask all these questions about you. Let me go through your history. let me not offer you the job. Why? You're not competing with the job market. You're competing with other people who have the same or similar skills as you, who are willing to sell their labor for cheaper than you are. That's the name of the game. If y'all can't understand what I'm saying, email me admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Just put in the subject, SOT. What do you mean labor is the most valuable commodity on earth? And I will break it down for you. I will 100% break it down. And I'm trying to have y'all understand. Devote your labor to just some, not all of it. I'm not saying quit your job. You should be ashamed if you have a job. Look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Anyone who tries to make you feel bad about your current conditions does not have your best interest in mind if they talk about your future conditions. Straight up. Just listen to what I'm saying. Anyone who tries to talk down to you about your current conditions does not have your best interest in mind with regards to your future conditions. Please believe me. And they have us convinced that our labor is worth less. My life is worth less than this gold. My life is worth less than these dollars. People killing over dollars. When really, labor, the most valuable commodity on this earth is your labor, is your ability to focus and do specific or a specific task to create a product or service and then bring that product or service to market and sell it to someone else. You might, oh man, I can't do it. The company I work at, they have thousands of customers and they make thousands of fam. If you do the math, you would realize that you only probably need 4 customers and you would be great. You don't got the same overhead that they got. You don't have the expenses that the company you work for has. You don't have all that red tape that the company you work for has. You can just start a 1-man, 2-man, 1 woman, 2 women, 1 man, 1 woman, 1 woman, 3 men, 2 women, 4 men deal. A smaller enterprise still charge less than the large companies and still make buku amounts of money. I started a technology company, got 1 contract, and that contract floated the company for over 3 years. One contract, 1 client, floated the company for over 3 years. Threw cash off, just throw money off too, like, oh, thanks, appreciate it, good looking. The most valuable commodity on this earth is your labor. Start the new year with trust. Put your labor into vehicles that were created and set up for your family, a trust. Put your labor into a vehicle that's purpose is to create profits and income for these private vehicles. Protect your assets, your family wealth, your family money with private trusts. So the state, when they start raising these taxes, they start raising these taxes, start hitting people over these heads with these taxes, it's going to be some ugliness. And I'm telling you, I'm dealing with trustees. They're trying to open up trust accounts. And since I started doing this in 2016, it has gotten significantly more difficult and full of funniness trying to open trust accounts. Not that it's impossible. It's just people are dealing with way more pushback. Why? Because it's locking down. Are you running out of time? Probably. I would say absolutely. But, I guess ultimately it's really about what you think. And, what do you think? You think everything's going to be fine? You feel good? You feel good about, what you do for a living? You feel good about where your life, your time on this earth goes, the majority of your life? Do you feel good about, what you've accumulated for your family? You feel good about going into these 20s, these 2020s, and these 2030s with how you're set up, all these layoffs, all this unemployment, all this stimulus that's necessary, and riots, and where's my stimulus check? And I mean, are you feeling good about this? Do you think the necessaries such as food, clothing, and shelter are going anywhere? Do you think people are going to, regardless of what happens with politics or anything, how long have people been needed places to live? How long have people needed clothes or fashions? How long have people needed food? These staples aren't going anywhere, regardless of any economy and so on and so forth. And then you can move further out. And it's as simple. So how do I do that? Food. I mean, let's just start with this. You said food, clothing, and shelter. How can I start a business and start making money for my family off of food? Well, I got to start a restaurant or what do I got to do? No, you ain't got to start a restaurant. Man, why don't you just drive? You got a car? Yeah, I got a car. Why don't you sign up for the DoorDash or whatever and start dropping off other people's food and get paper for it? What? Yeah, man, you could do that. You just drop it off. They pay you for stuff like that. When you sign up for the company, just make sure you structure right. Make sure you have an LLC. So when they send a W-9, you can give them the name of the LLC and the EIN for the LLC instead of putting your name and the social there. That's the problem. You don't have the proper structures. So when you do get the opportunity to do business, or when you do have to do something, you got to use the wrong structures. That's the problem. We need the different structures. I would say start the new year with trust. Straight up. Now, the foundation, we just ran a cool little, what do I call it? An offering. Let's call it an offering with regards to trustee training, right? That's cool. That's fine and dandy. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Y'all email me admin@welcometothefoundation.com if you're interested in private trustee training. It's every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You get my private number. You get access to private, trust documents, Black's Laws dictionaries, case laws, template documents, template contracts, template. A lot. There's a lot. You get a private manual sent to you in the mail. We get you rocking with your business trust, your asset trust, your family trust. So I'm not going to say for how long, and I'm not going to say what exactly. I'm just going to say hit me up. admin@welcometothefoundation.com. And if you're interested in trustee training, just let me know. You're going to get the boilerplate response. And if you want to keep going and engage in a negotiation, I suggest you do. Because, being that it's the beginning of 2021, being that I know people need trustee training, and in the spirit of the intention of the foundation, which is, we do all this because we want to do business with our people, hands down. Let's just talk in the private. Email me admin@welcometothefoundation.com. You talking about trustee training? Let's just talk in the private. You can continue with the engagement and the interaction and communication. It might be worth it for you. I don't know though. That's going to be left up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, you want to hear some predictions for 2021? Here we go. Here we go, y'all. And I don't really do this, because I don't like people like, oh man, because it gets the wrong attention in my opinion. But here's my prediction for 2021 and beyond. You're gonna see cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and stuff like that. You're gonna see this stuff go super mainstream. I mean, like crazy mainstream. You're gonna see banks get really, really cozy with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And you're gonna continue to see a push for this Fed coin and this Fed coin wallet. You're going to see it. You're going to continue to see issues with prices as far as inflation in food. You're going to see food prices are going to continue going up. Pay attention. And pay attention to the weight of the food product. So it may be the same price, but they changed the weight. Maybe I have the same box, but the box is filled less, and they can't lie to you on the weight of what you're purchasing. So pay attention to the weight of the things that you buy in the grocery store and stuff like that, as well as the price. If it's the same weight, it's going to be a higher price. If it's same or similar price, check the weight. Because we're going to see inflation in food prices. We're going to see inflation in energy prices. That means electricity. Look for your electric company to send you notices about how they're going to do more fees. You know what I'm saying? You look to the gas pumps and the increase in the price of gasoline at the pump, as well as, and maybe if you use natural gas, these things. Look at energy and food. You're going to see these prices increase a lot. You're going to see Bitcoin go higher and higher. It's not going to come back down. It might dip, but it's not. You got institutional investors like big billion dollar funds that are now starting to buy Bitcoin. It's over. So if you've been thinking about getting into Bitcoin because it's fractional, you might want to jump in it. There are going to be some corrections, and this is not trading advice, investing advice, legal advice, no advice. This is me just making my predictions. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion. I could be, super duper loopy. But as what we're witnessing right now, my brothers and sisters, is a complete change and turnover of the economic system as we know it. And it's going to get weird, and it's going to get funny. And you're going to see a lot of people pointing to different ways and over here and over there and stuff. And I just want you to keep your eye on the ball. Keep an eye. What's the most valuable commodity on the planet? Human energy. There is no money in the commercial realm. It's only notes and promises to pay, which means every dollar you get, you should at least 10%, 15%, 20%, 25% should be set aside for the purchase or the exchange of real money, which is gold and silver. Now, if you got a checking account, move it around. You don't need, if you got a savings account, move it around. We saving real money. If you got an investments, 401k, IRA, you better call them and see if you can self-direct. And if you can self-direct, you better buy physical precious metals. And we just got to start making the correct decisions. We got about 60 seconds left in the broadcast. It's going to cut us off. If you want to continue and rock with us, you got to call in at 563-999-3625. Otherwise, you will be disconnected in about 30 seconds. But I will stream for a little bit, and then I'm out. You know what I mean? But ultimately, y'all know I wax poetic about trust. Y'all don't understand unless you know the significance of trust and how significant it is. Why is it that this man just talks about trust pretty much nonstop all the time for like 5 years? What is it? It's because of what I see. 100%. It's because of what I see. It's because of what I know. It's because of what I've been told. But it's because of what I see. And what I see, it's not nice. And if you are overly dependent on the public, the commercial system, on jobs and wages and grocery stores and gas stations and power companies and stuff like that, it's going to start getting worse and worse and more tight for you. And you'll be feeling the squeeze more and more every year, and not really being able to put your finger on where it's coming from, what is it, how do I fight this, what's going on. And I'm telling you, the squeeze is economic, first and foremost. But in order for that economic squeeze to work, the squeeze was first on the knowledge. The knowledge of what real money is, what real and true wealth is, what real value is, and that every time you get up and go to work, I got a job. You ain't got nothing. You got a position at a job that you must fulfill according to a contract. In a lot of states, be at-will employers. At-will means you are working here at will on both sides. You can quit and we can fire you whenever. There's no equity in that. There's no longevity in that. There's no security in that. We run around insecure. We got underlying knowledge that we're really financially insecure with these jobs and these investments and all this fiat currency and these depreciating assets we got everywhere. Wonder why why don't I feel wealthy? Well, I got all this stuff because this stuff ain't worth nothing. That's why. But I'm finished. Admin at welcome to the foundation.com. Trustee training is in full effect. Shout out to the gurus and the real educators who educate consistently and consistently, insistently. And you know, them be out here a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then disappear. Because what happened? Where'd they go? Where'd they go? So it's all about longevity as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going to jump into the phone lines. I appreciate y'all checking out the foundation here on High Frequency Radio Network. Especially simultaneously, I mean, everybody on this line, man, I got serious love for you, these live callers and stuff, because Yusuf is rocking right now, which means y'all really do the dance with your bro. You really do your dance with your bro, and I respect that, you know, I really do. So I'm gonna hit the phone lines real quick, take a couple callers, and I'm out. I'm out of here. Let me jump in here. 214-2375. 214-2375. Peace. Which name were you calling from?
Peace. Soda's down here. Calling from Texas. Hey. How you doing?
Hey, peace, fam. What's going down?
Man, not much. Another fire show, and I appreciate the efforts. And on behalf of the people that don't know what they're listening to right now, I appreciate it for them too.
That's what's up, man. How you doing? Everything good?
Man, better than good, and you're absolutely right, and you probably should have said it 20 or 30 more times during the show about if you just give up a couple of hours a month for your own family business to realistically start building your family estate, if you can take the you, the I, the me, the it, the individual out of it, and you're really trying to do something for somebody else and make sure that the next generation, that curse is broken because of you, like a little bit of effort goes a long way. And you said you wanted some trustees coming here and sprinkle a little church so the congregation could say amen. So, like, what you're talking about is facts. And it took me a lot of years to get moving. But after I got moving, like, got a little crazy. Financially liberating in a good way. And so that's really what's up. And then another thing that you said that really caught my ear, like back towards the beginning of the show, you were talking about the political differences and it not really mattering too much who's in office as far as being president or in control of the Senate. Like, you need to be much more concerned about your tax liability and your ability to generate and operate in a private sector.
Right.
And that's something, you know, I'm an archive listener for, you know, since I've been calling in. And it took me a while to get going, and, like, you haven't told, in my opinion, you haven't told one lie yet. Not one. In 5 years, 5+ years. And it took a while to sink in for me, like, not because I'm a slow learner, but because I'm a very astute student.
Right, you
talk
thorough.
about going and
you gotta
looking
make
stuff
sure.
up.
Right. Yeah, you gotta make
and
sure.
And then double check my triple check, and all of it checks out, and it would be really good, especially if we're planning for the future, like the next generations and the generations after that, and generations that some of us may not see because everybody's not looking at that mucusless diet, because that's one of the things I've been in, like, heavy over the past couple, I'd say, months. And we had a couple conversations in the private where you were talking about stuff I was cooking was disgusting, and now I look at it and it's like, old dude might be right on that. With the meat and the blood. But back to on topic for some of the other listeners, like, structuring yourself properly, specifically with the business portion, because the trust thing, I don't even want to say it can come later, but like right now we got to look at the cards that are on the table. We call that the flop. I'm from Texas. And then hold them, like, everybody has to play off the same cards. And we're looking at what we all got to play off. And if you got a business, like you said, you can mitigate some of your individual tax liabilities if you're operating a business in a properly structured format. And then when you get to the back end of that, may that be a family trust or a private family foundation, like, it can be a lot more gravy in your gravy boat. A lot more. And you can start doing what you want to do in real life, like the stuff that you already do or stuff that you would do for free or relatively low compensation. Because I know that for me, that's definitely been a situation that's worked out very well with, my second 1041 file this year. And anybody that's thinking about joining the trust courses, the private trustee training, like, I feel like they should holler at you and definitely let you know, like, they're trying to do some stuff for the future, and it's been all beneficial, at least on my end. Like, I don't have one negative thing to say about you or how you conduct your, not business, but, public-facing, public front-facing business in relationship to private commerce. Like, you've been good by me. And the one other thing is a lot about that Fed coin. Because what it is that we're, air quotes, spending or circulating as far as currency goes, like, the value of that can be inflated or deflated by powers outside of our control. But a contract is a completely different, powerful situation. And I just really want to thank you and Yusuf for bringing this knowledge to, you say your people, and I'm going to agree with that too. I'm glad you brought it to me, because if it wouldn't have been for finding you, stumbling upon you and this knowledge by way of Yusuf, like, I'd still be over there in the dark ages. And so would my family, and so would, the extensions thereof. And I appreciate you and your efforts. I definitely want to say, like, people should be getting down on your PDF section, because the amount of free information that you're given is, if they could just get involved in that, like, on the strength of that, that's what they say in the streets now, right, on the strength.
Yep, on the strength.
I mean, it lets me know you're not doing it for the profit margin. Like, should a workman be worthy of his compensation? Sure. But you got a lot out there to get some people up and going, and if they're not at least looking at that, I don't know what they're doing, And you're absolutely right. There's some very imminent stuff on the near future. And if you don't conduct yourself accordingly, like, they put up all the signs and the posters and said it out loud and put it in print. And if you're just not picking up what they're putting down, like, it's not going to be all good. In a couple years, if, You're not out here with the right pieces on the Monopoly board. But I definitely just want to, give you some praise for, years of labor and the struggles that you went through to help provide those of us that do have ears and are hearing. And, we want to shout out to all the people that are helping support you, first email I got from you respect the newcomer as well as the seasoned vet. Like, shout out to all of y'all that are listening today. Shout out to everybody that's been listening. Shout out to everybody that's got something in motion. And hopefully we get to hear from Brian from the Bay and what's some deal from Brownsville and Ceci Denton. But just got to keep this family knit thing tight, and I appreciate you putting in this work every week, consistent. But you're not asking anything from us that you're not giving yourself, and that's very admirable and honorable. And with that, I'm going to yield the floor.
I appreciate that, man. You a very articulate brother. Yeah. But no, I mean, I definitely appreciate that. You said I'm from the suburbs. So what you trying to say? I'm from the hood? Like the hood, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I do hood shit, but it's because I watch movies. I don't really live that way.
Okay, at least you're real. I respect you being honest and speaking the truth. I'm always respecting that. But yeah, I like that you touched on that. The first time that you emailed me and stuff, because truly, we applaud the beginners. It's an exciting time to start trustee training. Like when you start trustee training, it's exciting. When you get the manual and you open that stuff is exciting. Say it's not. If you feel like, man, I'm really here, I'm really gonna do it. We get to a certain point in our life where not too many things are that exciting. You know what I mean? Whereas when you start trustee training, and you can disagree with me if you want, Dante, but when you start trustee training, you can feel it. It's like an energy thing. You can kind of feel what's coming. Like, uh-oh. Did you feel that way, or how did you feel?
I'm going to only, very latently disagree with you in that once I got my initial, indenture, when I got to touch my short form after I printed it out myself, and then got into more of the paperwork, and then got to delve into a lot more of the educational end that you provide on the private side that you compensate for, that's when it became real to me, because all of that culminated to me right around the time of the birth of a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it became tangible, because pregnant as a man, we're kind of pregnant, but I can go take a shot at the bar. She needs to sit herself down somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
But now there's babies out, and then everything changes when you touch them. And that's your baby, and you can see it. It's different. And that's how I felt about trust stuff. Was it got weird through the emails a little bit, and, you ask for a substantial donation, but at the end of the day, what is my future, what are the future generations of my family worth to me? And I will make that initial investment for them, and again, all I can say is it's been worth the tenfold. I feel like I still should compensate you more based on just what you provided, and that's before we get to the next door. And man, it's not only is it getting real out here in the field for grunts and ground workers and, customer facing employees, like you were saying today.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of us that really do have a connection to not only our ancestry, but realize that we're going to be ancestors for somebody someday, it's really time. You said it best earlier, and it's this needs to be your call to action, because if you've been listening for years and haven't done anything, or if you've been listening for years and have done a couple things but haven't gotten through, like, the end goal needs to be setting a high bar for a new finish line for the folks that come after you. And if you're not with that move, then this whole thing, like, it probably isn't for you. And so I'm not trying to mess up your money. I'm really not. But there are some people that really got to get into action, because, you know, coming in and listening is one thing, but once you start doing and seeing the fruits of your labor, that's kind of a biblical thing, you know, or at least is a natural law that's cited in the Bible and the Torah and damn near every other religious text.
Right.
The labor becomes worth it after you start getting to see the payout of it. And we just really need to get back to taking care of us and what's important to us. And I don't mean that along any kind of divisive lines at all. But like I said, you know, I'm from the suburbs, and there's some folks I view as kinfolk that don't look like kinfolk, and there's some folks that are kinfolk that don't treat me like kinfolk, or didn't, you know, historically. And at the end of the day, if you start taking care of what takes care of you, like, everything is good. And it took a few years, I'll say, for it to start sinking in, you know, what you were preaching. And specifically about, like, once you get over here in the private side, if you really start conducting yourself congruent, if your behavior, your mentality is congruent with your contract, then everything else falls into place. Like, it's really good. But you got to be responsible, and accountability is one of the words that they use up here in my suburbs. And, you know, you say you're from the hood and all that, like, you can't take up this flag, you can't fly these colors, you can't do certain stuff if you're not going to be really ready when it's time to get ready and be about that. And so if you want to do that, then get in some private trust training, because you got a long-time listener that I've been hearing at least for 2 years that calls in, sounds like he lives out of a van with his family, and I'm not at all trying to tease or make fun of that. In fact, I find that admirable, in that he's doing exactly what you were saying earlier, whatever it takes to take care of his family and breaking bread to make it cool for the next generations. But we gotta get it together, because, you know, the writing is on the wall, it's in our face, it's on paper, it's on internet sites, and, you know, the online thing is cool if you want to, you know, just go listen to some 10-year-old rap music videos, but there's a lot of commerce out here. There's a whole sea of commerce that everybody can have their own separate way and be doing whatever they're doing right now, but for themselves and for their family, and that's what we should be doing. That's what the Creator, I feel like, had intended for us. Everybody's not a farmer. Everybody's not a goat herder. Everybody's not good talking to other people. Everybody's not good reading, but everybody's good at something. And as soon as you find that something and put a price on it for yourself, what your time is worth, it changes how you look at everything else in your everyday life.
Real speak. You know, hey, all you have is your life and your labor, and it's limited. You know that, like I say, if you really do the knowledge, you really take accountability, you really stand up and crunch the numbers, the most valuable thing on this planet is your labor. It's human labor. And if you revalue your labor, you're likely going to revalue what you do with that labor. So those who revalue their labor, those who go private, a lot of times you got to revalue your labor. A lot of times you revalue your labor, which made you go private. You had to go, you know, start a business, do something. You just couldn't work anymore because you knew you was just getting taken advantage of as far as the labor. And then some people go private and they like, oh my God, I got to revalue my labor, because you realize what it is. Like, oh, I haven't never been paid for my labor. I need to start getting paid for my labor. So even if you just revalue it against, okay, so most people used to work for what? I don't know. How many ounces of silver is an hour of your life worth? I think that's the best way to start looking at it. You know, if I was going to be like, all right, well, give me an hour of your life and I'll give you some silver. How much silver would you quote? Like, all right, man, I'm going to need, for an hour of my life, bro, I'm going to need like 150 ounces. What would you say? And then the equivalents. Right now, silver is like $27 an ounce. So if you say for an hour of your life, you're going to need like 125 ounces of silver, and silver is, let's just arbitrarily, let's say $28 an ounce. That's $3,500 for an hour, man. If you're talking fiat,
but what would you
right?
do with that $3,000? Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that changes the whole game. If I come up on you like, yo, give me an hour of your life, you finna die an hour earlier. How much for that hour? And you're like, man, look, I need 125 ounces of silver for that joint. That's $3,500, man. People working for $14, $16, $18, $22 an hour. And most people don't understand that in order for me to employ you, I must make 3 times what I pay you per hour. And not every hour am I making 3 times, but overall, within the 30 days or within that year, I need to make 3 times for the business what I pay you in salary. So if I pay you $30,000, you got to make the company $90,000. And please believe, if those numbers don't work, if you get $20,000 a year and you're not making the company $60,000 a year, please believe they're going to let you go. They're going to start writing you up for being late. They're going to start doing all types of performance reviews. You're going to be like, man, what happened? They're going to pretend like someone new in management came in, but it's really because you're costing the company money. And they're going to let you go.
Yeah, the people that sign the checks is absolutely the family trust that you're organizing. Ooh, that's the one thing I wanted to talk to you about, too.
Yeah.
I was getting a little wild at the beginning of trustee training this last week, talking about rap songs, and I wanted to bring up, because I feel like you got a lot of hip-hop listeners.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard anything about that man, Future, and the lick he just pulled in court?
Nah, I haven't heard anything. What happened? Put me on.
Long story short, he's got a new baby mama, and she was trying to get that dude for like $100,000 a month, a little less. And due to his business structures, partners, and everything else, he went in and could substantiate not her owning personally as an individual one piece of jewelry or the 17 acres and $2.5 million mansion that he resided at, because that was in a holding company that his sister owned and that his brother owned and that his homeboys and business partners owned. The jewelry was, I'm not going to say rented, but like he didn't personally have it in his name. The house, he showed up. It ended up being $3,000 a month. And I know that you said earlier you didn't come into this from a prison charge or from any kind of jurisprudence, court adjudications, any kind of anything like that. But when I heard that, I almost sent you the link at like 4 o'clock in the morning, because I was up doing some early morning studies, and went and dug up that like Georgia court case, and he was actually registered as a Florida boy, which is a whole other thing because there's no income tax, and it got really weird. But once he got out, and the final judgment was he's going to pay $3,000 a month based off $30,000 a year, because the quarantine hit him hard and he wasn't getting show money and couldn't go shoot videos and blah, 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 even though he just dropped a new video a week ago.
He's structured right.
Those aren't his cameras. Those aren't his cameras over shooting that video.
None of that. If he, if he's structured, he sounds like he's structured properly.
I mean, he's structured very well. I still would definitely try to give you his business card or give him yours, but like,
yeah,
he got out of there like real. You used the word with me earlier this week, gangster. He got out of there like an Italian mob boss, like, and really touch him, and that little $3,000 is not affecting how he's eating, and he's done a couple things. And granted, you know, it's not, in my opinion, the most honorable way to go about stuff, because if it's your child and you know it's your child, you should take care of, you know, your family. I also feel on the other end, like that woman that was trying to get him for $100,000 a month was probably not operating in her whole dealings with him in the most honorable of stances. And at the end of the day, like, the suburbanite movie quote from Gerard, who's a dude in Gladiator, and he had a movie with Jamie Foxx talking about the government.
Okay.
Law-abiding citizen. That's the name of the movie. And it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. And Future substantiated himself in a manner that made him the Teflon Don. I can take care of my baby, but you're not getting a phantom out of this deal, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, child support isn't necessary. You know, it's not necessary for a man to take care of his child. You don't need to be on child support to take care of your child. You don't need to be on child support to buy your child stuff and buy food for your child and clothes and items and you know, put accounts away for, you know, for future education and stuff. You know, the state, you don't need the state to do that. So, you know, $3,000 a month, you know, I'm sure, you know, that child will get more than that, more, you know, but I don't know. What do I know? I don't know Future. I never met the man. But it sounds like he was structured properly, or the people around him had him structured properly.
Right.
Future, the name Future is someone's asset, and I would almost guarantee it's not his. You know, but
you might be surprised.
Sounds like he's structured properly, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring those for folks like myself that are suburbanites and, you know, still influenced by the street element, or people that really live that street element life. Wanted to bring that out as real life, like within the past 2 weeks, tangible, like go look it up and let's talk about a conversation. And then the one other thing that I really, really, really want to talk to you about was something that we talked about privately.
Mm-hmm. You want to call me? You want to call me tomorrow or what?
I mean, I got a real link to talk to you tomorrow about, because you said Carrot Bars went up in flames.
Yeah, Dunzo.
Yeah, being from Texas, like, we got a couple things, and so I got one thing that I definitely like to bring up on that end, but I would like to give the family one free tip on the burnout. You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Well, they've got, because I've been watching a lot of what's going on in D.C., and I don't know where everybody lives, but you definitely have, you know, some metrics that say that people live in some urban areas, and they've got this self-defense weapon that's technically, by ATS standards, not a firearm, that can still get some folks off you if you ever find yourself in a tight situation. And I'm not affiliated yet or getting a kickback yet, but burner.com, like, what was it? What did we decide? BYRNA?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Something that effect. Go punch it in your search engine, man, and check it out. It's got these little pepper spray balls and some, you know, non-lethal, but definitely mitigating any threat situation coming towards you for your family and your generation. I just want to throw a family hookup out there, and I need to get with you in the private. It'll be you're gonna be free tomorrow around 8 a.m. your time.
Yeah, just give me a call. Yeah.
All right, we'll do it because I got another gold and silver plug that might be, worth the price of admission for you.
Okay, yeah, I'm always interested in that, man. Hit me up.
I know. All right, peace.
Hey, fam, appreciate you calling in, man, and sharing what you shared, man. I really am. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
All right, peace.
All right, fam, peace to the gods. Peace. 718-8092. 718-8092. Peace. Which name? Where you calling from?
Hey, peace, Soel. This me, Dow. What's the deal? What's the deal from Brownsville?
Man, what's up, Daryl? How you been, man? It's been a while, brother. How you doing?
Man, I'm all right. Listening to your show burnt me out like crack, so I'm recharged now.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm recharged now. That's a good thing, because sometimes I guess I was on the show and I fell asleep on it because I was wore out. I worked for the parks, over here in New York, and from there, our numbers are down. I'm a essential worker, because I used to work for the post office. I was security when I first started talking to you about 5 years ago. Let me see, 2015, yeah, that many years ago, when you was on the road. And I left from being security to being a postal carrier to now being a parks worker, dealing with bushes and stuff like that, cleaning up parks and stuff like that. So, a lot of times I can't call into the show and I would fall asleep on the show because our numbers are down. So it's like, we picking up the slack. Bells, why everything's all right. How you been?
I've been well. I can't complain. How's the family? How's everybody?
Everybody's all right, but I always tell people, I always say, never turn your back on your family for, your girlfriend or your boyfriend. But a lot of them are doing that, because wherever they get with the new person don't want them to talk to their ex, unless they have a child or something like that with them, or if it's necessary. But one thing, when it comes time to that, that's why everything is all right. Everything is all right. And I know you're not going to be, I know the show's about to end, and then you probably got a few more callers. I have my cousin on the line, Just. I don't know if he want to ask you a question. Just, are you there? Oh, he probably hanged up. He had went on mute for a second. Yeah, but so how you been? So you been all right?
Yeah, no complaints, man. Just, trying to make sure everybody that needs to be woken up is awake and ready for what's coming, man.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, it's an honor for people to ask about me. And when I call into the show, I will fall asleep because I'll be tired. I was tired from working early in the day. Cleaning up the parks and everybody works at a different pace. I just happen to, I'm an old school worker. But, a lot of things over here in New York, I tell a lot of people, I say, well, if you go business, if you, the business get a lot of tickets on a car, your license is not going to get suspended. But if you just have a regular license on your social, your license could get suspended. So I tell a lot of people like that, I tell them hey, start something off small, stuff that you normally use like toilet paper or, meals and stuff like that. Start, do something like that with the business, and I say it's a bailout. Because, you can kind of bail yourself out too on your social, just like you have a few things. You have your social is 9 numbers. A driver's license in New York is 9 numbers. EIN number in New York is 9 numbers, probably all around that. And, a lot of things, CPN number, is 9 numbers. So a lot of people don't know about numbers, how to work them, make them come alive, or what to do with them, and hard times will last forever, But, I love going out to you and all the listeners out there, I appreciate y'all showing concern for me, asking for me. Y'all haven't heard from me in a while, but this is the new year. I'm back. I mean, I, hit one all the time to speak. I'll let somebody else speak. I will come in every now and then. And, be safe out there. Live long, stay strong. And, just, it's a lot of stuff going on. Just before all that, back and forth debate. Like that, you can't make somebody believe something if they don't believe. Like that. Let them believe what they believe, and you just keep it moving. But so I'm gonna let you take the next caller, man, and fam, and I'm gonna catch up with all of y'all, okay?
Appreciate you, man. It's good to hear from you, man. Thanks for calling in and pressing one. I know you're working. We hear you. Stay safe, and I'm glad you still out there doing your dance, man. It's good to hear from you. I love you, man. Take care of yourself, man. Be safe, man. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you too. Okay.
Appreciate you calling in. Peace. All right, y'all. Hey, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Yusuf is still on live on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to check out YouTube, check out Yusuf. He up there. He doing his dance. But that's it for me. So L. High Frequency Radio Network, the foundation. It's a new year. We out here. We man, look. Over 5 years on High Frequency, man. This is spectacular, phantasmagoria. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm honored. All the things. Shout out to Yusuf L. as always. 100% deserving. My man is cold. He's a hustler. He's a grinder. He's knowledgeable. He's humble. I mean, look. We need more brothers like him. Hopefully, I stand. Somewhere similar closely to, the brother Yusuf. But, I mean, shout out to the brother for letting me rock on High Frequency for over 5 years, man. Straight up. That's love. That's respect. That's honor. That's a man who is fully, confident in himself and is not a hater and insecure and stuff, man. Shout out to Yusuf, man. That's my G. You my brother, man. Love you. I love y'all too. I do this for y'all, really. And, I appreciate Yusuf letting me rock on the network, but this is for y'all. And I think it's time to start out the new year with the trust. Like, set your trust up. What you waiting for? It's been a long time. Have you been waiting to see if So L gets popped off? Well, hey, it's 2021. It's been over 5 years. I'm still sitting here talking, waxing poetic here about, set up your family business. Set up your private contract entities that are independent of the state. So the state can't, here comes, look, if you think that we deal with confiscatory policies right now, you should wait and see what's coming. It's about to go down. It really is. Things are going to change. It's going to be fast. Some's going to be slow. I just want you to be ready. I want your family to be ready. This is multi-generational. This isn't just you. You and your man, you and your girl, you and your son. This is not just you. This is multi-generational. This is your heirs, their heirs, their heirs. We're talking multi-generational wealth. This private trust estate that you establish will be here hundreds of years after you dust the flesh off of your spirit and move on. If you set it up properly and you teach successors and administer the estate properly. So, hey, you looking for liberty or you looking for freedom? You looking for freedom? Email me. admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Go to www.welcometothefoundation.com. I mean, who says www anymore? That's so like 1997. Go to www. But, go to welcometothefoundation.com, yo. Check out the education tab, Passport No Social Part 1, Passport No Social Part 2, Foundation Primer, Trust Primer, Foundation Trust Series Part 1, Foundation Trust Series Part 2, Foundation Trust Series Part 3, the foundation of commerce, of everything that's popping off is trust. That's why the name of the show is The Foundation. I'm your host, So L. I trust that you will enjoy yourself. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Hey, 2 hours a week. Put in those hours. Put in that work. 2 hours a week. Get into trustee training, change your life, and change the future
of your heirs. And, you know, I'll catch you here next week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. 10 things that you are thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. And I will catch you next week, same time, same spot, High Frequency Radio Network, the foundation. So, see ya. I love you. Peace to the God.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.